My dears, today we are going to talk about a somewhat private and curious topic. What is going through the back door all about? And is it really fun? A few days ago, I was planning to relax by browsing my phone, but a good friend of mine sent me a sharing link with the title, "What do you think of putting these in your anus?" I wondered at the time whether it was a decorative anal plug or something like that. Although some people think that this thing is quite special for decoration, my friend is different. He can't even stand the slight pain in his, but when he has a little difficulty going to the toilet, so he didn't understand the title and kept asking me, why would someone put something in his butt? Doesn't it hurt? To be honest, I am also very curious. So today I will explore with you why some people would want to put something in their butt. Let's talk about why some people have such behavior. There are two main reasons. One is psychological and the other is pathological. From a psychological point of view, this has to mention a concept proposed by Freud, anal stage. When we are about 2 to 4 years old, we will enter a stage called anal desire. At this time, we can start to control the contraction of the anus. Curious about everything, so they will have an instinctive desire to explore the anus and even want to play with poop. That parents will definitely not let them and will stop their children. This may cause some children to develop a rebellious mentality during this period, and this unique feeling for the anal area is not well channeled. When they grow up, no one will strictly control them like their parents did when they were young, so they may have a special concern for the anus and even want to explore it. This is a more mainstream psychological explanation at present. Let's talk about the pathological reasons. Some friends suffer from anal-related diseases, such as hemorrhoids, anal litching, etc. Anal litching is uncomfortable. At this time, if you put medicine into the anus, the uncomfortable feeling of itching will be replaced by the feeling of fullness of the stuffed thing. Just like being bitten by a mosquito, you pinch across on it, which can relieve the itching feeling. And in medicine, anal suppositories have always been a common method for treating some diseases. For example, when treating constipation or hemorrhoids, if you put the medicine directly into the anus, the medicine can act directly on the affected area, which is fast-acting. In addition, the rectal secretions do not pass through the stomach and small intestine, which can avoid the effects of gastric acid, alkaline digestive enzymes on the medicine, reduce the irritation of the medicine to the gastrointestinal tract, and improve the efficacy of the medicine. Therefore, putting the right things into the buttocks can't treat diseases in some cases, which is not entirely a bad thing. But my dears, if this back door is not done well, it will really hurt. Think about it. If a stranger suddenly wants to break into your house, will you be very nervous and all the muscles in your body will be tense? The anus is the same. When you want to put something in, the nerves will regulate the body and make the muscles contract. Moreover, when a person is nervous, the secretion of adrenaline increases, the sympathetic nerves are affected, and the speed and strength of the sphincter contraction will increase. At this time, if you force something in, it is easy to cause intestinal damage and bleeding. What's more terrible is that if the lubrication is not done well, or the size, shape, and material of the object chosen to be inserted are not suitable, just like some people insert strange objects such as glasses, hamsters, and toothbrushes, then it is simply hurting your. The anus originally wanted to contract, but it was stretched open by these inappropriate for an object. At this time, the contraction force of the anus will be weakened, and the contents of the intestines may be discharged uncontrollably. That scene is simply unimaginable. Is it only painful to go through the back door? In fact, it is not. It is said that it is really pleasant, but the degree of pleasure varies from person to person. For men, because the prostate is close to the rectum, when going through the back door or inserting things into it, it will directly stimulate the prostate, thereby producing a kind of pleasure and even reaching high C. But women are different. Women do not have a prostate, so they cannot directly obtain strong pleasure in high C like men through this method. However, there are abundant nerve endings and blood vessels in the anus and rectum. When stuffing things in, it will squeeze the genitals, stimulate the genital nerves, and make women feel a certain sense of pleasure. But to be difficult for women to achieve a strong sense of pleasure or even orgasm with this kind of squeezing, and the physical pleasure that women get from this behavior is far less than that of men. My dears, many people in society now have prejudices and doubts about the behavior of inserting things into the anus, which is mostly due to traditional moral concepts and inherent sexual prejudices. In fact, there is no clear boundary between normal and abnormal behavior. As long as it is responsible for yourself and your partner, it is acceptable. As long as it is voluntary and respectful, everyone has the right to explore their own body and pursue ways to make themselves happy. Of course, we must also pay attention to safety and not hurt our bodies in pursuit of temporary pleasure. Don't you think this is the truth?